Hello, grade 4 students. Don't you miss my face? Haha. Welcome to our science class again, right? I'm welcoming you because we have another wonderful lesson, okay? I want you to turn your book to pages 148 to 150, okay? But before going there, let's review a little bit. We studied it especially on this curriculum on materials, right? This is our curriculum, and we will base on that, and it's important that we follow this. So last time we studied about properties of materials, okay? And we also talked about hardness of materials, okay? But for today, as I said, let's talk about elasticity of materials on pages 148 to 150, okay? On page 150, we are learning about elasticity. Elasticity is the property of materials that happens when there is force acting on them. If such materials have this property, they will change their shapes when they are squeezed, pressed, pulled, crushed, etc. But when we stop putting force, the materials can return to their original shapes. Some materials can change their shapes, but cannot return to their normal shapes. And some materials cannot change at all. This means that different materials have different levels of elasticity. For example, rubber is a polymer material which has a high level of elasticity. So, it is usually used to make objects that need elasticity. Example, how to apply the elasticity property of materials. Use the property to make toys such as rubber dolls, rubber balls, and balloons. You can use this property to make tools such as rubber bands, eraser, elastic waistbands, and rubber gloves. So, rubber materials are made of the latex of para-rubber trees. The latex is turned into sheets before they are made into different products. I want you to turn your book to page 148 about elasticity of materials. This is the property of materials which lets them change their shapes when there is force acting on them. After the force stops, they can return to their original shapes. Okay? Do you think a clear plastic cup is elastic or not? Let us learn something from the science process skills enhancing activity. The question is, which materials have the property of elasticity? The objective is to test and compare the property of elasticity among materials. That is a problem, but then the hypothesis is negative, and so there is no significant difference among property of elasticity or among materials in their property of elasticity. What to prepare, if it is available to you, you can have 2 balloons, 2 wooden pencils, and clear plastic cups. Steps are work in groups, but you don't have groups this time because you are in your homes. Well, you can do it by yourself with anybody else there. Observe the features of balloons, clear plastic cups, and wooden pencils together. Then name the material of its object in the given table. Alright, there's a given table right here. Find a problem and form a hypothesis on the elasticity of materials. Look at that. It's in here. So tests the elasticity property of materials. Like these are the things. To prove the hypothesis by using a force to pull or twist balloons. Observe the balloons and record the data here. Then stop using the force. Observe them again and record the data here. Repeat step 3 with clear plastic cups and wooden pencils respectively. Sum up the results together and present it to class, or you can just post it in our comment section below. Now record your data testing the elasticity of property of materials. You have list of objects, you have balloons, clear plastic cups, wooden pencils. Alright, you can write them here. Is it made of rubber? Is it made of polymer? Or is it made of plastic or wood? You write in here. With force, what's the result? Or without force, what's the result? Sum it up. As you can see, we learned the materials with elasticity will change their shapes when there is force acting on them. However, they can return to their original shapes when we stop the force. Now, most materials which have the property of elasticity are made of rubber. I want you to review the lesson, review the video to answer these questions in here. Well, I want you to post your answers below and see you next time.